Okay, so in this video I want to look at the Bourne Conspiracy. So this video is going to be another part of my playlist. And that playlist is good movie tie-in video games. And this is the second episode of the playlist. And this one will be looking at, of course, the Bourne Conspiracy. Now the timing of this video could have been better. It could have been more in time with Jason Bourne when that was released in cinema. So I'm slightly off with my timing. But I wanted to do this video since season 2 of the channel. And I'm finally approaching it now. So you may have noticed that the Jason Bourne in the video game is not modelled after Matt Damon, although some of the characters that do feature in the game are modelled after other characters in the movie. The game itself is very much inspired by the Bourne identity. The Bourne Conspiracy, it really does replicate a lot of those beats that were in the first film, and I just want to look at this video game under a few subjects. And the first subject, its first heading, will be the presentation. The graphics of this game aren't the most amazing. The game was released in 2008, so it was one of the first few games that were released for Xbox 360 and PS3. It was probably a year or so after those consoles were released, so graphically it's not going to be the most amazing looking game. I will admit that the in-game graphics are a lot better than the cutscenes themselves. The in-game graphics, they got nice little details to clothing, they got nice little details to facial expressions, and nice little details to actual facial damage as well. The overall look of the level designs, they are all pretty detailed. Lots of little detail in terms of character models and background, and lots of little detail on props and stuff like that. There's a really nice sense of global feel to it as well, which is also great. As for the cutscenes I mentioned earlier, not as good as the in-game graphics. There's something about them that doesn't seem quite right, a lot of detail seems to be lost. Also, in terms of facial character details, they seem too glossy almost like some sort of plastic look about them. They just don't look as good as the in-game graphics. Also, they feel a little previous gen, almost PS2 in terms of models. Not great. As I mentioned before, in-game graphics are so much better. Now let's move on to the gameplay. As we all know, the Bourne movies are kind of heavy, combat heavy, action set pieces, and the games are very much the same way, and the combat system is very unique and very cool. There is a light attack and a hard attack, and what you do is you make combos based on light attacks and strong attacks, and of course there's a block button as well. The combat system is almost similar to the likes of kind of Soul Calibur, light attack, and of course there is a hard attack, and then of course there is a block button as well. And interesting enough, the more successful hits you make on an opponent, the more a meter on the side will actually grow. And this meter means you'll get these super satisfying kind of takedowns once you press the circle button, and these are takedowns that are so graphic and so violent and so brutal, but they are so fun to actually execute. So there is moments in game where you take on multiple opponents at the same time, and if you have, say, 3 takedowns built up, you can just hit that button 3 times and it'll take this guy down, one guy after another, and you get this really cool quick time event. So once you take one guy on, and a button will come up on screen, and you have to press that button really fast, and you'll take down this other guy, and you'll take down this other guy. A really good combat system, a really great combat system. One of the best elements of this game was the combat system. There is also boss battles in the game. One of my favourite boss battles is heavily inspired by the first Bourne movie, the Bourne Identity, in which you are in Jason Bourne's apartment, and of course the assassin comes crashing through the window, and you have this amazing fight in kind of Jason Bourne's office, where it's kind of a pen versus knife situation that occurs in the video game, and it's just as satisfying as you get in the movie. Throw the assassin through tables, and you can throw him through desks, and you can throw him through all sorts of pieces of furniture, and of course you can use actually the pen as well. So it's a really satisfying fight. I spoke of that level in the game, which is heavily inspired by the movie. My favourite level in the game is actually the American Embassy. The point in the game is very much the same beats, the same adrenaline rush, the idea of taking on a bunch of guys left, right and centre, but still trying to get out of this building as fast as possible. The game really does a great job of replicating that kind of pacing and that kind of tension that was in that movie scene. Also, my other favourite mission that was also similar to the movie series was actually the Professor battle. You may remember the Professor, played by Clive Owen. You do get to duke it out with him, and it's a sniper battle, which is really cool because, like in the movie, he's at a distance away, and what you're trying to do is trying to get him out in the opening. And what you do in the game is very much like what they done in the movie, which Jason tried to make all this cover so he can't see where he is. So that happens in the game. You shoot up a gas canister that explodes. You shoot up a load of below at a few birds, and that distracts the professor to come out in the opening. All that actually happens in the game, and it's really well replicated, and it's really fun to do. There is some new missions that go back into Jason Bourne's past, and they're also fantastic. One of my favourite is actually the airport level, in which you're chasing after this target and you're pursuing him throughout the whole mission. And it starts off at the outside of an airport, and there's this massive shootout in which you're kind of ducking behind cars to find cover from gunfights, and you can shoot up cars, you can shoot up street lamps, you can shoot up everything that's in front of you, and things will explode and your cover will erode, and all that is fantastic. And as you make your way through the entrance to the airport, you'll eventually go into the airport itself, and it's emptied out, and there's a load of shooters everywhere, and it's so much fun because once again the environment is destructible, and the airport level works so well with Jason Bourne because it fits so well with Jason Bourne, because Jason Bourne is all about moving from one place to another place, and what better place for a level than an airport for Jason Bourne. My other favourite level that they created for the video game was kind of an art museum. It takes place later on in the game, and it's really cool because once again it fits so well with the Bourne franchise. It has the same look and feel of something that would be in a Bourne narrative. Once again, the destructible environment plays into this level so well because you can shoot up vases and artwork and pictures and paintings. You can shoot up glass, and it's so much fun, the level of destruction you can build while you're in these big massive shootouts. And of course there is a bit of fisticuff in that level as well. A wonderful level, a great set piece. There is a driving section in the game pretty similar to how it was in the movie, and I gotta say the driving section is fun. It's not the worst thing that ever happened in a game. It only happens once as well, which is good too, because I think the rest of the gameplay is better than this driving segment. The car controls smoothly, nicely. There's also a great sense of speed and chase to the mission as well. There's also some really cool kind of car takedowns in which you build up like D-bars like you do in combat or when you're shooting up people, and you get these really cool car takedowns. So you'll take down a cop car here and there, which is really cool. I'm just going to wrap this up because that's everything I can say about this game. It's a great game. The combat system was great for its time. Really unique combat system. The shooting sections were fun as well. The car section was fun but not amazing. The character models aren't amazing, but they stay faithful to the movie. And if you want to replay all those great moments from the movies, I'd highly recommend this game. If you have a last gen console and you still have it, go out, hunt out this game. It'll probably be in a bargain bin, and you'll probably get super cheap at this stage. In terms of gameplay, it will last you for a good amount of time. You can go back and replay certain missions here and there, because there's missions where you can go back and pick up objects, and these objects will give you bonuses. Also, they did a really good job at replicating the music. The music in the Bourne series is one of my favourite parts of those movies, and they done an amazing job of replicating that music. Another thing I really did like about the video game. And I'm just going to leave it at that and just say to you guys, have you actually played this game, and what do you think of this game? And if you have any other suggestions for good movie tie-in video games, put down in the comment section below. I'm just going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you see.